Cadillac's hit music station, 107.9 CDY. It is Saturday morning. That means it's time for Cadillac Unscripted, and it's sponsored by Independent Bank as well as Marianne Quist of Remax Central, and Katy Huckle is with me, and you and I have been doing a lot of brainstorming over the past couple of weeks as to taking maybe unique angles at this coronavirus storytelling that's going on right now.
Absolutely, and taking it local, Rich, and local stories about how COVID-19 is impacting our community. And some folks in our community that are very close to Rich in my heart are our seniors, and we're talking about the class of 2020.
You have one in the class of 2020. I have one in the class of 2020. I work with several members of the class of 2020 at the Career Tech Center doing the digital media production thing. And what a strange year it is going to turn out to be.
It certainly is. And so on the line with us this morning, we have Zakk Izzard. Zakk is a hockey player. He's a senior at Cadillac High School. He's also a superstar lacrosse player. Good morning, Zakk.
Good morning.
So I wanted to get kind of your angle and your perspective and your thoughts about this is your senior year. It's your big year. It's the memory maker. What went through your head when you found out, okay, school's canceled? What's the first thing that you thought about, Zakk?
Well, it was like a relief because we didn't have any snow days this year. So, like...
Compared to last year, we didn't. We had 3.
Yeah.
I think, and last year we had 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was relieved that we could have a little bit of break and just a time to where we can relax and take a mental refresher.
Just a little bit of a break, right?
But Zakk, you never thought it was going to be like this, though.
No, I didn't think it was going to be like this. I thought we were going to come back right after the 3 weeks originally and then go right back to school.
So what went through your mind when you found out spring sports were canceled?
I was crushed because lacrosse is my spring sport. It's a club with the school. So I was being prepared to go start playing games and have fun on the lacrosse field, but then finding out that it was canceled, I'm pretty crushed.
Yes, and so now we talk about things like prom and commencement. I mean, of the things that have been canceled, what's been the hardest, Zakk?
For me, it's the junior-senior banquet. Last year, was my first year going to it, and it was a lot of fun. And going to get the awards that we do for, like, funniest person in class, worst driver, that type of stuff, I wanted to see what our class thought and how it would impact us in our friendships.
For the people who aren't familiar with the junior-senior banquet, can you tell folks what that's all about?
The junior-senior banquet is a big get-together of all, like, the juniors and seniors to say goodbye to the seniors, because the juniors have been with us pretty much since our sophomore year when they came in, so they get to know us for a long time, and it's kind of like their last saying goodbye, but also we get to have like a little dinner with them, and we get awards at the end of the night.
And you really come together during this time, don't you?
Yeah. We're all sitting together and having a good time.
And the people that are it's popularity, meaning it's a voting system. So whoever's the worst driver and whoever is the funniest, this is all taken by vote. It's a democracy, right?
Yeah. Yep. Towards that time, we would get a ballot and we get to write down someone's name for that particular award and stuff like that.
I see. So post-graduation, has what's happened changed what Zakk's going to do post-graduation or your timeline?
Not really, actually. I'm still planning on going to work on Mackinac Island this summer for Arnold Freight, but I'm also checking in Northern Michigan University to go to school there and also play on their D2 hockey team there.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to let you know that I talked to the superintendent of schools via text earlier today, and I told her that we were going to be talking to the seniors. And she said, Katy, please tell our seniors that we're thinking about them from the administrative level. I mean, you have so many teachers and folks in the community that are thinking about you guys. And so if you can pass that along to your fellow classmates, that the community supports you 100%. And we're sorry that you're missing some of these big things, but we know you're going to go out into the world and do great things. How about that?
Yeah, that just makes the day a little bit better, hearing that they're caring for us, that they want us to succeed in life and have us go on to bigger things.
And in the grand scheme of things, this is 2 or 3 months out of a lifetime.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hats off to the class of 2020. Thanks for being with us this morning, Zakk.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We are chatting on Cadillac Unscripted with members of the community who are affected very uniquely by the events of the last few weeks and the events of the next couple of months. Members of the class of 2020. And who do we have now, Katy?
Rich, we've got our homecoming queen this year. Alana Hill is a senior. Wonderful girl, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to us, Alana. And we just want to tell you that we're sorry that all this stuff is getting canceled and it's your senior year. And we just wanted to get your perspective on the situation and how it's impacting you. And if you could share with us, you know, when the message came out that there was going to be no school, that school was canceled, what went through your mind, Alana?
If I'm being honest, I was actually kind of excited.
It's perfectly okay to be honest about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, yeah, I get a week for spring break and then go to Aruba, and then the week before school's off and week after is off. But, you know, obviously that wasn't quite what happened.
So then things got very real, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Things started going downhill pretty quickly.
Okay, so of everything that's been canceled, because these are big events for seniors in high school. What impacted you the most?
Well, honestly, I'm still trying to be optimistic and hope that we go back and can finish the stuff. But if everything does get canceled, I think I was really looking forward to my junior-senior banquet. I went last year, and it was so much fun. And I was just really excited to do that. And then for my tennis season, because we take this picture where we write words on our arms, and that's like encouraging words, and it's kind of like tradition. So I was getting excited to do that for my last year.
Your classmate, Zakk, who we just talked to, said the exact same thing. He mentioned the junior-senior banquet. What about that event is special to you?
So it's really difficult because we haven't really been able to get my class all together a lot. And so being able to, I think, kind of get everyone together and kind of say goodbye and acknowledge what everyone has done and what everyone's like and kind of just celebrate all together, I think that's kind of important.
Absolutely. It gives you closure, doesn't it?
I think so.
Are you in touch with your classmates via chat room, like large, big chat rooms where all of you are together and talking about stuff?
Actually, yeah. We made a group chat with a bunch of seniors, not all of them, but a lot of them, for senior skip day. But so basically we still have been talking in that, and basically we'll talk and ask questions if we have any. And then sometimes we even just rant to each other on it, how frustrated some of us is.
And you guys joke back and forth too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be sad to not have fun with as much as we can.
Right. So at your junior-senior banquet, you have funny awards, but then you have serious awards as well, don't you?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so your post-graduation plans, have those changed, Alana, based on what's happening?
Honestly, I don't really, no, I mean, I guess I haven't heard much about my orientation for my college I'm going to.
And that's hard because colleges themselves are shut down for the next little while, too.
Right, yeah, no, yeah, some people can't go on their trips or visits or interviews they had, so I'm really just winging it.
As we all are.
That's right. So
Right.
what does your day consist of, Alana? I mean, most seniors at this point have senioritis. We know that. So you're not back in school, but what are you guys doing?
I've been doing pretty good with the social distancing. My mom likes to make sure we're all being clean and healthy. And so, honestly, I took I'm starting to learn how to play guitar, and I've made a quilt.
That's great. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
That's a good use of your time.
So if you could say anything, Alana, as we wrap up to your classmates, what would you tell them right now? If you could, yeah.
To my classmates?
That's right.
You're on the radio. You can say anything you want to a certain extent.
Almost.
I would probably say, I'm glad that we did have the good years that we've been in school together, and it's been great making friends and getting to know everyone I know pretty much everyone in my class, and so it's just been good that we've been lucky to have a good school year like we've had. And even if we don't get our last part of our senior year, you know what? That's okay because we have, good things coming ahead of us still. So we'll be all right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elena, and God bless, and we're thinking about you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We continue our chat here in Cadillac Unscripted with some members of Cadillac Area Public Schools class of 2020, a group that will be affected in a very unique way by the events that have happened. And as of this taping, I do want to say that the governor has said it is unlikely, but not definite yet, that the rest of the school year will be canceled. And an announcement to that effect is coming next week. So right now, the rest of 2020 hangs in the balance.
It sure does. And on the line with us this morning, we've got Tipp Baker. Hi, Tipp.
Hi.
And Tipp was our quarterback. He was our homecoming king. And Rich, the record eagle, just announced him as the most valuable basketball player in Northern Michigan on their dream team. So just a big year for Tipp Baker. And thanks for spending some time with us. Tipp, all this comes out, this announcement. First of all, school gets canceled. And what goes through your mind?
I heard the announcement like an hour before our basketball practice, right before the district final game. So we were really concerned about what's going to happen with our district final. And then it came out that school was going to be done, and we were kind of excited and then kind of not. The seniors kind of just looked at each other, and we got this kind of awful feeling. And we just ended up going to practice, and it was rough. It was not good.
For your team, and also for the girls, just so much unfinished business,
Yeah, for sure. We've been looking forward to this rematch with Ludington all year pretty much. And for the seniors, it's really tough because this is what we've been practicing for since November. And to have that not be able to happen really, really sucks.
Oh, that's hard. Of all the things that have been canceled, because now they're coming down the pike, this is canceled and that is canceled. What was the hardest thing for you, Tipp, that got canceled?
Probably just the basketball district final and then track now. I don't know what's going to happen with spring sports, but as a high school senior, you only get these opportunities once in your life. And for college, they could get a year of eligibility back, but for high school seniors, we don't have that opportunity. So it just really worries me what's going to happen.
Maybe you end up savoring your future college experiences a little more because of this.
Oh, for sure. We were talking with some seniors, and when this first came out, we were excited or whatever, but now we all want to go back to school. We miss it. We miss seeing each other. We miss going to school, taking the classes and everything.
Right. And it's, a couple of your classmates have mentioned your junior-senior banquet as being a really important closure piece for seniors. You're all together and you're voting on things and you're laughing together, and a couple of the folks have said that that's tough.
Yeah, it really is. Like prom is probably going to get rescheduled or maybe even canceled, and that's just a time where seniors and juniors and everyone really can just get together and connect and make memories.
Right. So what did your coach tell you? This is when leaders really step forward, and this thing happens with basketball. What did your coach have to say to you guys?
Well, the athletic director told him, and then he came in before the locker room and started telling us what's happening, and he just kind of let us down easy. He said, "Seniors, I'm sorry, this sucks. We don't know what's going to happen. We're still holding out hope that by some far-off chance, we get a chance to lace up the shoes again and play." But he just really empathized with our situation.
I know initially all these games were going to be played without crowds, just your parents and just members of the media. So you were going to be playing these games initially in front of maybe 15 to 20 people. That would have been strange. I'm sure you would have loved to have done it anyway, but that would have been weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, really weird. Like the 2 days before all this cancellation or all this put everything on pause. I was thinking, like, that's terrible. I don't want to do that at all. I earned this right, and I want to have the fans. I want to have the energy. I want everyone to watch us win a district. But now, looking back at it, I'd love to do that. Just be able to play would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you don't know how good it is till it's gone.
That's right.
So the Record Eagle makes, its announcement of its first basketball team, and then we see that star next to your name that Tipp is the most valuable player of them all. Is that even more special given these circumstances for you?
Yeah, it's really hard to appreciate it right now, I think, just because I don't have the perspective. But it's a great honor. There's a lot of great people who I got to compete against for it. I'm really happy I got it, but I really wish my team could have the finishing season we need.
As one of Cadillac's star athletes, I'm sure you'd probably like to take some time here to throw out some thank yous to a lot of people. So why don't we use this opportunity? And I know you're probably thinking, I'm afraid to leave somebody out, but just go ahead and throw out some thank yous now, because you're on the air and you've got a large audience here.
Well, there's too many people to thank right now, but I just want to thank the coaches, the fans, everyone who comes to support Cadillac Athletics, and my teammates. Like, I'm a big part of team sports, and without them, the stuff I do is not unable to happen. And I really want to appreciate them. Shout out to Clayton McKinley. He wrote a poem that ended up being published in the national. I'm not going to remember the publishing right now, but he wrote a poem about our football season, which was really impressive, and he got some national credit for it. So I want to thank my coaches, my teammates, all my family and friends. Pastor comes to all of our basketball games, all the support we have. And the stuff I do and the stuff my teammates do and the stuff all Cadillac Sports does cannot happen without the support we have.
Spoken like a true leader, isn't he?
You bet.
If you could say anything to your class, if you were going to give a shout out to your class, Tipp, what, closure, and we don't know what's going to happen and what's not, but what would you tell all of your classmates about you guys and your bond?
I would say this makes us stronger. If this is the worst thing that happens to us in our entire life, we're going to have a great life. It really sucks right now, but I really, 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 really think and know it's going to get better at some point, and we just got to stay tough and stick together.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Tipp.
Thank you.
Enjoy the sun.
Yeah, I will. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Cadillac Unscripted is sponsored by Independent Bank and Marianne Quist. Remax Central will check in with a few more of the class of 2020 after this word from our sponsors, as well as a forecast check from Morris Langworthy on 107.9 CDY. Buying a home is still the great American dream. And yes, it can be an intimidating process, but you can rest assured and have confidence when the professionals from Remax Central are in your corner to guide you through it. Marianne Quist of Remax Central has helped hundreds of home buyers in and around the Cadillac area navigate the process over the years, and she's ready to help you too. From start to finish, from finding a home to submitting an offer, to understanding the purchase agreement, to inspections, surveys, and appraisals, to the time when you finally sit down and sign those closing documents, Marianne will be there. When you're ready to buy, talk to Marianne Quist at Remax Central. See her listings at teamquist.com. We continue our chat here in Cadillac Unscripted with members of Cadillac High School class of 2020.
Seniors.
A group that is affected in a way that's very, very unique to a small group of people. But we wanted to have some of them on with us today to maybe talk a little bit about how they're feeling, and that's the whole idea behind the show. This was Katy's idea, and it's brilliant. It really is.
I don't know about that.
Well, it really is. So who do we have now, Katy?
We have one of my favorite seniors on the phone. We've got she's a downhill racer. She's an excellent student. It's Libbey Lloyd. And Libbey, when all these cancellation announcements came out, this is getting canceled, that's getting canceled. The first thing, of course, was school. So what went through your mind? Classes are canceled.
So at first I was like excited. I was like, oh, like a longer spring break, whatever,
I think that's what most people felt.
Now, 1.5 weeks in or wherever we are, I'm like actually losing my mind. So
I see.
So bored.
So you would actually like to go back to school, is what you're telling us?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Do you think your other classmates feel the same way?
I think it's honestly a mix of weird emotions throughout all of like the school, because like some kids are like yeah, like I'll just sit home and play video games all day or whatever. And then others are like, bring me back with my friends, like, you know, like prom and all the stuff, like spring sports, whatever. So
Nothing will cure a bad case of senioritis like a long forced vacation.
I know, that's what I was excited for. And now I'm like, bring me back to school. I'm going insane.
And the quarantine doesn't help, does it, Libbey?
No, I'm stuck inside of my house all day, every day. So,
Oh, boy.
So what do you do to pass the time, Libbey?
Well, my sister's home from college. They're done. So we find stuff to do, paint our nails, you know, do our makeup, watch movies, play a little tennis or basketball outside, whatever.
I will say that reconnecting as a family is one byproduct that is very, very positive
Agree.
about this situation.
Puzzles.
Yeah, I would agree. And spend time with our like pets and family or whatever, which is good.
Great. So of everything that's been canceled, Libbey, what's been the hardest for you?
Honestly, probably the spring sports and maybe like all of the senior stuff that we've looked forward to, like our whole high school, the junior senior banquet, our senior prom, like graduation, maybe even, you know, my spring tennis season is canceled basically, most likely. So,
Yeah, because that last 2 months is just stuffed with things that are very unique to that time in your life, and they're they're one-time
and that's,
things.
like, devastating to miss it all.
Yeah,
That's right. So what would you tell your classmates? You know, sometimes I think this is making you kids even closer, Libbey.
Honestly, I think it's kind of a mix of both. It's pulling us together because we're all talking about it. We all feel the same way, like we're in the same boat, and we have like a group chat about it now and stuff. But it's also, I think, pulling us apart because we don't see each other every day and we don't get to do all those events that we were so excited for, like with each other, you know?
Right. Well, what would you tell your classmates about your experience with them and your journey? You were going to give them a shout out. What would you say?
I would tell them that it's been fun. Like, I'm going to miss it. And it was probably the best years of our life so far. So, too short.
That's right.
My hope for you and for all of these seniors is that when this virus has run its course, maybe by June, and when we start having graduation parties and things like that, that can be a big reunion for all of you.
Oh,
wouldn't that be great?
I agree, totally.
Yeah. Yep.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today, Libbey. And
Thank you so much.
all right, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
On this special edition of Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Independent Bank and Marianne Quist, Remax Central, we are talking with members of Cadillac Area Public Schools, class of 2020, a group that has unfortunately had their last 2 months of their senior year, by the looks of things, kind of taken from them through no fault of their own.
That's right.
Susie Huckle is with us right now. And so, Susie, tell us what your first impression was when you got this news about 2 weeks ago that there was going to be an extended closure of school. What was your first thought?
I was definitely excited. I was thinking, like, wow, a long spring break. Like, we can all hang out a week before. I guess I didn't really realize how serious it really was. And so, yeah, I would say I was definitely excited at first.
And now, a few weeks later, how have those feelings changed? Or have they?
I'm definitely ready to go back to school. I never thought I would say that, but kind of crazy. The first week was fun, and now I think all of us seniors are ready to be back, and we realize how much we're losing.
Well, we've just wrapped up what would have been spring break week. So next week would have been the last week off, but obviously that was scheduled. Another week was added on, and now we're kind of looking like there's a good possibility that there will not be any more school the rest of the year, although that has not been officially announced yet. But our governor says it's kind of likely. So what in the last 2 months, Susie, do you think you will look back on and say, gosh, I wish that would have happened?
Definitely spring track season for sure.
Okay. And why is that?
Just like one last time to bond with all like your teammates and go around the track and like do what you love to do. Any spring sports really would definitely be what I would say is the biggest thing for me.
What do you have, Katy?
Well, how do you guys all talk to each other, Susie? How do you all stay in touch?
there's a senior group chat that has a lot of seniors in it. Not all of them, but most of them. And so we definitely all like keep each other updated on how things are going, and like if we heard any more information about school or if this has to be done or anything like that, we all kind of communicate through that and make jokes and stuff, and also talk about how sad we are.
Do you miss the face-to-face communication?
Definitely. I miss seeing everyone and like talking to everyone and being in class and the teachers too. So
yeah.
So what does everybody do all day?
I really think that pretty much everyone's quarantined, so not really anything. We all probably sit on our phones and are working on homework and next year plans, and a lot of people are planning their open houses and stuff like that, hoping that they can still have them.
So in the last couple of weeks, have you maybe started any new hobbies, maybe things that you wouldn't have had a chance to do had you been in school every day?
Yeah, I definitely would. I say I've definitely gone outside more and started reading, stuff like that I usually wouldn't have the time to do being in school and playing sports.
And college visits have been canceled. I mean, a lot of your classmates and you had plans to go down and get organized, dorm rooms, and getting your footings on campus. And that's all been put on hold.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing, too, is just like now no one really feels organized. You kind of all like don't know what's going on. So
I would say the best thing about all this is that you're all in it together. This isn't narrowed down to one person or a small group of people. Everybody's in it together, you know?
That's the best, like, knowing, and you can tell in the senior group chat, like, we all have gotten closer because we know we're all in this together, and, like, this will forever connect us. Like, we're probably one of the only senior classes that will ever have to go through something like this. And
let's
hundreds
hope so.
of seniors all over the world that are going through this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. What would you tell everybody? A lot of your classmates are going to be tuning into the show. What would you tell your senior class?
To stay healthy and stay safe so we can hopefully go back.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yep, no problem.
All right. Bye-bye.
We have been visiting with a half dozen today of the members of Cadillac Area Public Schools class of 2020, a group that is very singularly affected by this. The class of 2020 has, had 2 months to look forward to graduation parties and final get-togethers and ceremonies and
prom,
all that stuff. And that's unfortunately been, by the looks of things, taken from them through no fault of their own.
That's right.
So we wanted to get the perspective of some of the class of 2020 locally. And Katy, who do we have on the line with us now?
We've got Angel Garland with us, and Angel is a senior this year. And Angel, we just wanted to know from your perspective, what went through your mind when you found out, okay, spring break's canceled and school is canceled? What were you thinking?
At first, I thought it was awesome. I was like, 3 weeks for spring break. That's awesome. But now that I'm living through it, I honestly miss school. I miss being in a routine. So it's kind of hard now.
Okay.
Would you say, Angel, that you were, as of like March 10th or whatever date it was, that I think it was the 13th, we found out that we were going to be off for a minimum of 2 weeks, now 3. Were you suffering from senioritis at that point? You can be honest.
Yeah. Yes, I definitely was, and I know a lot of people were with me on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So of everything that's been canceled, what hurts the most? What hit the hardest?
Well, since this is my last year, I was looking forward to our track season.
Okay.
And now that that's no longer a thing, that kind of hits hard.
Okay. All right. And what does Angel do all day? I mean, everybody's quarantined, so we're curious as to what our seniors are doing all day.
I mean, honestly, people are at home with their families catching up on the latest Netflix series.
That sounds about right, doesn't it, Rich?
Binge watching whenever they can. Yeah.
Yes.
How has your routine changed? Obviously, it's changed tremendously, but
Yeah.
What does your typical day look like?
Well, I'm used to getting up and going to school, going to practice, and then going right to work. Now that I don't have that, I wake up at whatever time. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Used to sleep in,
it's just
sure.
changed a lot.
Yeah.
The routine, and we haven't heard that one yet. That is a true thing. You bet. Has this affected your summer plans and then your college plans? What's going on?
I don't think it affected my college plans necessarily because we don't know how long this is going to go on.
Okay.
But I think that it is going to affect summer plans.
Okay.
How are you communicating with your classmates? We've heard a lot of talk about a group chat rooms and things like that where you're all communicating at a safe social distance. And
Yep.
have you been doing that?
Yep, and group FaceTimes, pretty much.
Okay.
Okay.
Do people keep it light, or is it serious and light and all of those emotions?
It's kind of both because I'm sure people are scared. And we talk about that. We're scared about how long this is going to go on and how it's going to affect our graduation.
I see. Meaning commencement itself, Angel? Is that what everybody's worried about?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's big. It's closure. It's their big day, commencement, Rich.
Well, and as I've said before, commencement, the graduation ceremony is almost as much for parents and grandparents as it is for the students.
Right.
So it will be interesting. But as I've said before, my hope is that maybe in June, when things are better, hopefully things are better by then, everybody can, all the class of 2020 can get together and have a big reunion.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope so.
You don't have to wait for the 5th or 10th or 25th. You can have a 2-month reunion, 3-month reunion in June.
You guys deserve it. But Angel, it's so important that your class knows that the community really has a heartache about this and is supporting you guys, and I think everybody feels bad because they remember being a senior and maybe they didn't like the prom, but they liked their senior banquet, or maybe they were a golfer or a tennis player, and looking back at those memories and that being taken away, that's hard. So I think all of our seniors need to know that Cadillac and the outlying area is supporting you guys, and we're with you. So if you were going to say something to all your classmates, because a lot of folks are listening, what would you tell everybody, Angel?
That I'm glad that it's them that I'm going through this with.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. All right.
Nice.
Well, hats off to the class of 2020, and thank you for your time.
All right, thank you so much.
All right. Bye, Angel.
Bye.
Well, we want to take some time here to thank all of our guests for being a part of this program, talking eloquently and honestly and openly and candidly about their experiences. Because as we said, the class of 2020 is going to talk about this the rest of their lives.
100%. And this community is with you. And like I said, our superintendent, Jen Brown, said, Katy, tell them that we're thinking about them. So.
All right. Who knows what's coming up next week on Cadillac Unscripted? You and I are in communication all throughout the week, and sometimes it changes by the day, just like the news seems to. So join us next week, 8:30 on 107.9 CDY for another Cadillac Unscripted, sponsored by Marianne Quist of Remax Central and Independent Bank.